Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another of what used to be called Carlos's Random Games, but is now going to be renamed to GUI's Random Games. And today I have BEAMNG.drive. It is a game, obviously, by BeamNG. And if you click this, I believe it takes you to their website. But this is a soft body physics game about crashing cars into stuff, and it's actually quite fun. So, let's take a look at the options. You got your standard post effects manager. Not a lot of games have this actually, but you can mess with the depth of field and HDR and SSAO and stuff like that. I don't really mess around with that kind of stuff, but over here is where it's at. So over here you have your graphics. You can select your display driver, which is actually quite nice. Not a lot of games allow you to do that. You can select your resolution as standard. Refresh rate, whatever your monitor's default refresh rate is, mine is 60. So you can set between full screen and borderless, and vertical sync, which means basically VSync. Mesh quality, I actually have no idea what that is, but this game's settings usually only go up to high. So texture quality, you know, it comes with the name, how good the textures look. Lighting quality, this is quite important if you want good looking shadows, like say the ones at the title screen that we're in right now. So, and a soft effect filtering, that's the smoothing of edges. Oh, no, that's not the smoothing of edges, that's something else. But anti-aliasing, that's the smoothing of edges. It only goes up to 4 times, which is quite weird for a more modern game. Usually it goes up to 8. And shader quality, that is how good the shadows look, or how rough or smooth they look. And gamma, that's obviously brightness. So, yeah, you can also auto-detect the quality that you want your game to be at. It detects your video drivers and stuff and tells you what you should run it at. But today we're going max settings, so let's just play. And once you click play, it brings you up a list of maps. There's not a large list of maps, but you can also download modded maps. So, yeah, we're going to do grid map. It's a clean, empty grid environment, ideal for testing, which is what we're doing today. So, we're just going to hit go, and loading screens aren't that pretty when it comes to time. So, yeah, it takes a while to load the objects, but that's understandable for a game of this quality. When it says nearly done, that basically means it's nearly done. The game lags a little bit when you first spawn in, but otherwise it looks, this frame rate seems quite smooth. So here we have our default vehicle. This also comes in the demo version of the game, which I'm not running right now. This is the full version. I'll post a link to both the demo and the full version of this game in the description, but this is not yet on Steam, so yeah, all of you Steam guys might have a problem. Not sure if it's going to be greenlit on Steam or not, but I guess we'll see. So, as you can see, you move the mouse, look around and stuff, and you can see this game is genuinely quite pretty. It is not an ugly game by any stretch of the imagination. You can see the shadows look real nice, and the camera isn't that great. This game's still surprisingly a work-in-progress game. As you can see, you don't have a driver or anything like that. So, the controls, you can press F1 for help. These are basic controls, like accelerate. So, basically, to move your vehicle, it's the arrow keys. You can toggle the brake, you can reset your vehicle to its spawn point, and see cycles of the cameras through first-person hood view, bumper view, and third-person. I believe there might. And control R reloads in place, which basically means it's the same as reset, but it doesn't put your vehicle back to where it spawned, and that also sets a new spawn point. So you can either use the mouse or the numpad to look around. I use the mouse most of the time. And Control E is vehicle selection, so you can select different vehicles, and there are also mods for different vehicles, which I'm actually running a couple mods right now. And I don't really mess around with parts detection or selection, but if you want to do that, then then you press F1 again for more advanced controls like slow-mo, which is actually quite cool, debug modes, consoles, and a lot of other advanced stuff, and then you can press it again to hide the menu. So we're just gonna go for that ramp over there. The camera does not have a great auto-centering mechanic, but you can press 5 on the numpad to center it again. So we're gonna go for a jump on that ramp there. And you can see you press Alt plus down to trigger slow motion, which is actually quite cool. And we're gonna see the soft body physics in action right here, right now. And as you can see, the physics for the vehicle wrecking is really nice. It feels real when you crash. So, yeah, you can press Alt plus down, or Alt plus up to go back in normal time, and yeah, not a lot of games offer this much in destruction of cars. Say games like GTA, even the newest one, GTA 5, does not offer this much vehicle wreckage. And you can see that we have completely demolished our vehicle. I'm actually going to switch into first-person view here, and you can see what this would look like through the perspective of the driver, and it does not look pretty. So we're just gonna go ahead and press I and reset our vehicle, except this time we're gonna be rolling with something different. So this is the default vehicle, Gavril D series, but I downloaded a couple mods from modding website. I'll also post the mod website in the description. So we're going to go with the GT 2011. You just hit OK. The game might freeze up whenever you're loading a new vehicle, but it doesn't do it for long. So we're going to switch cameras again. You can see this vehicle is very pretty. People actually put a nice bit of work into modeling these vehicles. So we're going to try that jump again, except this time with a different vehicle, and you can see how the physics on the vehicles and stuff changes. Now, on the subject of the driving itself, the driving itself in this game does not feel smooth or arcadey. It's actually quite difficult to control your vehicle, to regain control of your vehicle, as one might say, when you lose control. So it's not as smooth and as arcadey as, say, a game similar to this, like Next Car Game. I've done a review on that game. You should probably go watch it. It's the first episode of this that I did. And you can see the damage models are different entirely. And from the internal view, this does not look like a very happy sight. So all these cars are licensed. All the modded cars are licensed. The default ones are not. So if we switch cameras again, you can see that this is going to be a very bad day for whoever was in that car, at least when it comes to insurance. I don't think any insurance is going to cover that completely. But anyway, we're going to select another vehicle here. Or eventually, we're going to change maps and stuff. This isn't going to be all we're going to do, but we're going to go with the 720 King Cab. See how that looks. And you can see, very nice looking truck. Looks similar to the default one, but it is not. But once again, all these vehicles are licensed, so Datsun, you know. Except this time, we're going to take a different route to a different location. So press 5 to auto center again. It's one problem. This game really needs auto centering. In my opinion, I personally like auto centering in games. Well, it actually depends on the game. In games, say like Just Cause 2, I don't really like the auto centering in that, or in GTA. But in sandbox car driving physics games like this, it would actually be really nice. So over here we have a lump in the ground, so we're going to head over there full speed. And you can see we're getting into the rough terrain in this area. So we're just going to make that. That was not a very nice jump, but this is going to be. So let's watch this in action. This actually looks like it could end up happening to somebody in real life. Let's actually watch it through the perspective of the driver, see how pretty of a day this would be. Okay, so apparently his head gets fused within the dashboard. That's not always lovely for a human being to experience. But as you can see, we've completely flipped over our vehicle. And the windshield cracking is quite nice, but once again, these are modded vehicles, so all the credit for the damage modeling for these modded vehicles goes to the modders themselves. I will not actually be posting a link to each and every one of my vehicle mods. You'll have to find them yourself on the website. But like I said, I will be posting a link to the website in the description. So let's just go ahead back into normal motion here, and not as bad as, say, a couple of crashes we've had before. I think it should be drivable. No. Did we fuck something up? Yeah, I think we fucked something up to the point where it's not going to go anymore. So let's just reset, select a different vehicle. This is the last vehicle we're going to do on this map itself. But we're going to go with the Lamborghini Gallardo. Not going to read that full name. People go all out making these vehicles really nice. And I haven't downloaded any map mods, but there will be a couple map mods that I will do in videos pretty soon. So, and this one is actually one of the more difficult ones to control, which is understandable. Fast sports performance vehicles like these are, even in real life, these are one of the more difficult classes of vehicles to actually keep stable, steady, and control really well on the road. But yeah, and you can see that the mod creator actually went to try to go realistic on this. Because, oh my god, I don't think that's ever happened to me before in this vehicle. So auto center the camera again. You can't even properly control this thing. It's ridiculous. But most of the vehicles, they are, you can control them quite well. And this game, I don't think even Next Car Game offers this level of engine quality, as one might say. By that, I mean the destruction engine. I don't even think Next Car Game has a good enough destruction engine to top this game in the leaderboards. So let's just try that jump one more time, and it didn't really work out so well. Alright, let's do this, and let's actually do it properly. Whoa, you can't see really anything in that view. Here we go. And, whoa. Yeah, as if you haven't paid enough money for this car in the first place, you're not going to have a pretty time paying for the repairs if it's not already totaled. So, yeah, we're going to exit to main menu here and switch to another map. Try to turn the audio down a little bit. Just turn down the master volume a little bit. There we go. So this time we're gonna go on a more au natural map, like Small Island, USA. Seems like a these bigger maps do take a larger amount of time to load, as one might guess. So yeah, let's just wait for this to load here. And you can see the frame rate does dip down on some of these larger maps. I'm at around 55 right now, but you know. So let's actually have a proper drive instead of purposely trying to crash into everything. Okay, this is going to be a challenge for me because I'm not too great when it comes to driving in pretty much any video game. Alright, let's have a proper drive here. In fact, let's make it even more realistic going into first-person view. Basically, what I'm trying to prove by posting this video is don't ever give me a driver's license. Yeah. Here's a shack. Now, this game does not offer building and structure destruction, as a Next Car Game sometimes does, but in the Sneak Peek 2.0 there were some structures that you could run into and destroy them. This game is cars only, which is understandable for a car physics game. So Control E it up here, You can also select the different tires that you want. So we're going to go with off-road tires here. And let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that looks a lot different. And maybe it'll help us in our mission to get across the rough terrain here. And the tires actually do make a difference in how well your vehicle handles depending on which tire it is. So say if you are using off-road tires like I am now, it's obviously going to handle better on off-road. Unlike say a game like GTA 5 where the tires don't really make a difference at all. So, oh, okay, don't crash now. Now the off-road tires are quite a bit bigger, so it's going to be a little bit harder to flip this vehicle. See if we can make it through the tree. Nope. You know, I've always wondered if that is a solid barrier there. Like, if you can actually make it through those trees, or if it's just a solid barrier. Now it looks like you can make it through them. I'm just unlucky enough to always end up hitting the trunk of the trees. See, now the frame rate's dipping below 50, which is not ideal. This game, it might just be my machine, but it does feel well optimized. It runs really well, especially when not recording. So this is definitely going to be at least a 7 out of 10. Minus the fact that there's no multiplayer. I'm not really sure how that would work, but it would be really nice because next car game also seems like a game that would be really nice if it had multiplayer. Just running around, crashing into people, demolition derbies and stuff, instead of just AI characters. This game doesn't even have AI characters, as far as I can tell. It might have. I don't know. I haven't gotten really into the deep of this game, which I probably should have before I started doing a review on it, or yeah. Here we go. Oh shit. Whoa. My I don't know what that thing is called. I'm a truck. The bed door, the tail. I don't know, but that it looks like it got hung on the tree. And whoa. Okay, now this is some that was some proper screenshot gaming there. I could have taken a screenshot of that, but I didn't time it right. Reloading in place can actually help you to get out of sticky situations, because the more you press it, the higher your vehicle rises into the air and the higher chance you have of getting over an obstacle. But it lags the game, and if you do it way too much, like I just took a huge risk by doing it that much there, can actually crash your game. So don't do it unless you have a really good computer. Kind of like mine. Mine's not the best, but you know, it gets the job done, as you can see. Mostly sticking around 60 most of the time while recording this, but we're not going to get into that. I'll do a specs video later on sometime. But yeah, basically my conclusion on this is go and get this game. It's not on Steam, and I'm not sure if it will ever be, but it's definitely worth getting. So, yeah, you have to get it off the BEAMNG website, and mods are really easy to install. You just drag a folder into a folder, and you're pretty much done with that. So, yeah, guys, this game is definitely recommended by me, and, yeah, I'm going to sign off now, and, yeah, go buy this game, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.